feels like the world is falling apart. It seems like stuff is becoming unglued, and it's really strange. Everywhere you look on the internet, you see radical leftists refusing to denounce terrorism. At this point, we're learning details that are so heinous about the attacks that it's blood-chilling. Just some updates, because I feel like, this channel is dedicated to truth, and we definitely have to talk about what's going on in the world. There's like 6 different things, or 6 different things I've written down here of different videos that, that I need to cover. But there's so much insanity happening in the world. It feels like everything's just kind of going crazy, and this is in the Middle East. So Gaza is getting obliterated. As we speak, bombs are dropping. I'll show you guys footage. Okay, here's footage of what's going on in Gaza. Gaza's getting obliterated. They're getting destroyed. Bombs are dropping. Let's just put it like this. Here, I'm going to show you guys what Netanyahu said. This is crazy. We've never before seen world leaders tweeting videos of their opposition, of them blowing up houses of their opposition. Look at this. This is madness, bro. And I'm not saying this is bad, by the way. This is because obliterate the terrorists. But, like, look at this. A world leader tweeting a video of him doing that to his enemies. Okay. Netanyahu is quoted as saying, "What we will do to our enemies in the coming days will reverberate with them for generations." And then he tweeted a video, Netanyahu, as I just showed you, tweeted a video of this. Look at that. Look at that, guys. The world's going insane. And the leftists in typical anti-moral fashion, in dedication to their perverse ideology, are helpless but to expose their true evil. Look at this. I'm going to show you guys this video, and it's really difficult to watch because you're seeing their evil. This guy looks demonically possessed. It looks like a demon speaking through him. So this is the Colorado State Representative Tim Hernandez refuses to condemn protests in support of Hamas. So this is getting millions of impressions on Twitter. This guy had no idea that his evil would be this widespread. And if he did, he definitely wouldn't have been so brazen about his status as an ambassador of evil. We have to call it what it is. Listen to this. Look at this.
Congratulations. Congratulations. And the fact that you can't and I think it's despicable what they're protesting for. And what you're protesting for. And the fact that you can't condemn women and children and elderly.
Look at his face. He looks demonically possessed. So he's being confronted over supporting the terrorists, Hamas, for their brutal murdering, raping, hostage taking, the slaughtering of families, of women, children, infants, all that.
They're being murdered in the streets.
What about it?
What about it is his response. And this is the reason why I said it reminds me of someone who might be demonically possessed, because it's as if they're like inviting some sort of evil response. Like they're trying to goad the person into some sort of evil response. These people are admitting that they're evil to your face.
Do you condemn it?
I already said.
Why can't
He shakes his head no.
you say yes?
Because I already gave you my answer.
You didn't?
And now he's laughing at the idea that he's not condemning the terrorist attacks against women and children.
Give an answer, and I think anybody who watches would understand what your actual
3 people
position
that are
is
gonna
here.
watch your bullshit video, Russell.
And I think it's
The 3 people that are going to watch your bullshit video, is that what he said? Wait, I have to hear that again. I didn't pick that up the first time.
Watch your bullshit video, Russell. 3 people that are gonna watch your. 3 people that are gonna watch your.
Oh, he did say 3 people. Well, this has been reposted by Charlie Kirk. It's been reposted by the Daily Caller. It's getting hundreds of thousands of views a minute. I'll say that again. It's getting hundreds of thousands of views a minute on Twitter alone. As I said, this guy did not expect his evil to be broadcast across the internet, and you need to understand the left is evil. They are opposed to morality because they've sworn allegiance to Marxism. Marxism detests all objective moral frameworks because objective moral frameworks hold them accountable and require them to engage in thought processes, in patterns of vetting and recognizing thought patterns that are abhorrent and intolerable to their ideology. When you engage in logic, when you engage in reason, this invalidates the radical left-wing insanity. it reveals them as broken and incoherent and morally fraudulent. That's the reason why they purport moral relativism. I've talked about this in several videos, but it is the common theme we're seeing. There is no other way of explaining leftists supporting terrorists. The last video I recorded showing leftists marching in New York in support of terrorism. I mean, that is Marxist resentment. That is the spirit of Cain. More examples of left-wing insanity bordering on demonicness. This is a screenshot of prominent socialist radical leftist streamer Hassan's chat when reacting to the mother of one of the kidnapped women by Hamas. Read this. Look at this. So this is how the fans of a radical left-wing streamer react to the mother of a daughter who's been kidnapped by Hamas. And we know what Hamas is doing to women. We know what they did to women. We know what they did to babies and to children. So read this. Look at what the radical left is doing. Look at who they are. Look at who they are. Fuck the colonizers. L, cry more settler. Play Despacito. LMFAO. I raised my children to terrorize them, not to be terrorized. White women tears. Womp womp. Get wrecked. Fuck off. These aren't human. The radical left is training people to not be human. What you're looking at is evil. If you're thinking, why is the left admitting to everyone that they're evil? It's because they don't admit that there's such a thing as right and wrong. They can't admit that they're beholden to an objective moral framework, because that would mean they're beholden to something, they're accountable to something other than their degenerate ideology of wretched identity politics and virtue signaling, counterfeit virtue signaling, demonization of others. Think about this. They are mocking. They're mocking the mother. These people are mocking the mother of a daughter who was kidnapped by Hamas. The radical left, I just showed you a representative of Colorado on the left, clearly a radical leftist, unable to denounce terrorism, unable to denounce terrorists. The video that I put out yesterday, not only unable to denounce terrorism, protesting in favor of terrorism. It goes way further than that. Radical leftists in New York marching in favor of terrorists. Radical leftists have destroyed brains. They're not able to make sense of the world. It's because they're evil. Marxism calls them to be evil. They resent humanity. It's not just the resentment of a economic class as it was in the 20th century. That's what they wanted you to think. It was always about hatred for everything, hatred for humanity, hatred for the fabric of reality itself. The reason they hate reality, you might be wondering, is because reality is objective. Reality has parameters that no one can argue with. Think of gravity, think of math, think of physics. This is a good way of starting to understand how reality holds people accountable, objectively speaking. That infuriates leftists, and so their resentment is directed towards reality. Ben Shapiro did a fantastic video, by the way, on this. Absolutely fantastic. And Ben has been handling everything on Twitter really, really well lately. So because Andrew Tate and Tristan Tate have been involved with Muslims and the Muslim religion, Islam, they've been pressured by some radical forces to not take sides, even when the sides are very stark. It's very obvious right versus wrong. Every ounce of blood is on the hands of Hamas. They are the definition of evil, what they did, and there is no truce and no peace and no negotiation with terrorist animals like Hamas, obviously. Imagine if after 9/11 we had said, oh, we're going to look for a truce with Al-Qaeda after they had just killed thousands of our citizens. No, it's not possible. So Ben Shapiro has done a great job of handling Andrew Tate. I'll show you, or of handling Tristan rather. I'll show you guys what he's been doing here. Okay, that's something I want to look at in a second. This is obscene. So this is the office of Rashid Tlaib. Look at the flags outside her office. Not one American flag. You have the Palestinian flag. You have the gay pride flag. You're looking at what the left is. This is a good operating picture for evil, actually. In a time like this of terrorism, look at what's going on here. Look at this. This is evil. Is the United States falling? These people are animals. These people are animals. They're not people. They're subhumans. Subhumans. There's no both sides here, guys. There's no... But you all know that.
Babies' heads and burn.
Rashid Tlaib confronted.
Terrorists have cut off babies' heads and burned children alive. Do you support Israel's rights to defend themselves against this brutality?
We're just going to go through here.
You can't comment about Hamas terrorists chopping off babies' heads?
Look at her. She's running. That's a member of Congress. A member of Congress can't condemn cutting the heads off of babies.
Congresswoman, do you have a comment on Hamas terrorists chopping off babies' heads?
Look at that cowardly woman.
You have nothing to say about
That's what evil looks like, guys. Look, that's the radical left. That is the left. Literally running away from accountability, moral frameworks. And now she's being confronted. She's running. This is what cowardice looks like. This is what cowardice looks like. These people are mentally ruined. They walk around their daily lives mentally ruined. You need to understand this. There are people that walk around every day as agents of evil. They're destroyed and perverted in every aspect of the word. Look at this.
terrorists chopping off babies' heads? Do you condone...
It looks like she's trying to escape being asked about what this terrorist organization is doing as a member of Congress.
What Hamas has done, chopping off babies' heads, burning children alive, raping women in the street?
Wait, she just turned her head and smirked. Did you see that? Look at that. Look. Look at that.
Children alive, raping women in the street?
Look at that. Look at that. She confronted. There's very, very deep writing about the power of words. And with what she just said, it's clear that the evil in that woman, in Rashid Tlaib, was confronted. And she was forced to look. You can tell. Look at that. I'll play that again.
Children alive, raping women in the street?
Look at that.
You have no comment about children's heads being chopped off? Congressman, why do you have the Palestinian flag outside your office if you do not condone what Hamas terrorists have done to Israel? Do Israeli lives not matter to you?
Yeah, so there you go. Those are members of Congress. They have to be removed from office, obviously. These are treasonous traitors. This is very interesting. Yeah, this does look like a Nazi rally. It does. It does. These people are crazy. This is what the radical left is supporting, guys. They're so incoherent. They can't tell up from down to such an extent that it's inevitable, actually, that all ideologies that deny objective morality come together in an amalgamation of hell. We see this with Black Lives Matter endorsing the terrorists. It sounds crazy to say out loud that sentence, but it's true. I'm not surprised, given what I understand about their founding. They were founded by Marxists, so it's the exact same reason why the radical leftists support the terrorists. But BLM coming out to support the terrorists is exactly what's happening, and they're doing that because they're Marxists. They're doing that because objective morality is inconceivable and despicable to their broken worldview. I can't get over that video of the guy saying only 3 people are going to see this evil, and he's smirking and scoffing at the man confronting him over his immorality, and he thinks he's going to get away with it. That is so quintessential left. That's such a quintessential left-wing trope. Oh, I'm not going to be held accountable for my immorality. That is archetypally exactly who they are. That is who they are. That's who they all are, because they're Marxists. Any person possessed by the ideology of Marx is like that. It's interesting. Why is it that that the entire thinking caucus isn't on the left? The entire thinking caucus, none of them are part of the radical left, but all the degenerates, all the insane, lunatic, radical Islamists, radical Marxists, socialists, they all rally behind terrorists. And all the thinking people, it's like we're part of a club. And I know you know what I mean. It's like we're all part of a club where you've never met Ron DeSantis, you've never met Jordan Peterson, but you feel like you're in a club with him. You've never met Andrew Tate, but you feel like you're in a club with him. Maybe not when he's, being controlled by the matrix of radical Muslims. But besides that, I mean, we all feel like you can disagree with people, but it feels like we're all on the club of thinking. We're on the side of making sense of things, engaging in a constructive, coherent dialogue to build a future that's good. Whereas what does the radical left do? We need to ban cars. We need to sterilize children. We need to keep people from consuming energy. We need to depopulate the earth. They would sacrifice children. Thousands of years ago, the Aztecs would sacrifice children to the gods of the weather. And the radical left is wanting to do the same. They want to decrease the population in order to change the weather. The radical left has gone so far, and when people hear me talking about the political right, I'm not even talking about the political right. You need to understand that it is merely a byproduct of the radical left going so far off the end of the cliff that the right has been pulled to the center. So now all these people that are dedicated to opposing the insane lunatic communists on the left, and all Marxists, Marx wrote the Communist Manifesto, so they're the same. In order to resist them, everyone that is resisting them is making sense. That's why everyone that's not a radical leftist is saying things that are logical, saying things that can be followed. It used to be the middle, the left, the right, they debate. Now the left is wanting to sterilize kids and cut off the breasts of 12-year-old girls and supporting Hamas. That's where we are in 2023 right now, in October. The radical left wants to sterilize kids, cut off the breasts of young girls, and they're supporting the terrorists that are murdering, kidnapping, raping, and beheading women, children, and infants. That's currently the political left. That's who they are. I felt I was compelled to do this, and I'm going to be honest with all of you, guys. I'm going to be honest with all of you. I have hate in my heart for these people. I do. For the people that are religious, there's a line, I think it's in Psalms, where it says approximately, hate evil those who believe in God and be delivered from the hands of the wicked. So I don't think it's a bad thing that I feel hate in my heart for these people. These are evil, definitionally evil people. They're corrupt in every sense of the word. They are opposed to good. They propagate immorality wherever they go. And I guess these events just demonstrated to the world. They were an event so that we could all see the insanity. BLM is supporting Hamas. You guys understand that? Dude, this is crazy, bro. This is fucking nuts, dude. Imagine if the radical left party started marching for Al-Qaeda after 9/11. These people's brains are broken by Marxism.